Troubles? Thank you.
Okay. Got 9 o'clock Monday, August 17th, 2026 in the Chickasaw County Courthouse in the boardroom. I will call the board meeting to convene. Roll call, all members are present, along with Board Secretary Sheila Shackleton. Is there a motion to approve today's agenda?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Steve to approve today's agenda as published. Any discussion? If not, anybody opposed, motion carried. Approve the minutes from last Monday, August 10th.
Cool.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Isaac to approve the minutes from August 10th. Any discussion, changes? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Abstain.
Steve will abstain. Motion carried. Assessor Ray Ramel. Good morning, Ray.
Warren.
Presentation and approve of military exemption applications. In our packet, it looks like on the military one, you have 9 new military exemptions and 34 to be removed.
Here's a updated copy, or
Oh, thank you.
abbreviated copy for the minutes,
Okay.
Okay.
instead of the legal size sheet. That'll have everything on it.
Yep. Perfect.
And this is the same thing for the homesteads.
That's it.
Okay.
Alrighty, any questions, board members? You got a copy of that? Of the military rate, or do you want to see a copy? So the motion would be that approve the 9 new military exemptions and remove the 34.
Well, 34 is one.
We don't remove them.
No, you're just approving the new applications.
Approve the new 9.
The ones that are denied or being removed. They don't no
Information.
longer qualify. You know, that's just for information purposes.
Make a motion to approve 9 new military exemption applications.
Was there a second?
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Isaac to approve the 9 new military exemption applications. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Presentation and approval of the homestead tax credit applications. Looks like there's 133 new homestead applications for approval. And for discussion, 206 being removed.
And of those new applications, 9 of those are the disabled veterans homestead tax credit. Or it's 100%. Credit.
Any discussion, or is there a motion to approve the 133 new homestead applications for approval?
Can I ask what it takes? Is there time limit on the homestead?
July 1 is the cutoff
But I mean, for removing them?
for removing them.
Yeah,
Well, with the status of the property and the ownership, from, as of July 1.
okay, that,
If you sell your property June 30th, no longer own June 30th, you lose that homestead.
yeah, no, I'm just asking.
Yeah, you would lose your homestead on that, for that January 1 assessment. You still have it in play, like in this case, these cases, theirs are still in play for the 25,000 for the 26-27 tax year. But yeah, if they sell it anytime prior to July 1, then they would lose that homestead. Same thing with the military.
I just had a guy ask me, that's all. I was-
Yeah,
Is there a motion to approve?
So, second.
Motion by Scott, second by Travis to approve the applications for homestead tax credit, 133 of them. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Last thing is discuss recommendation of a denial of a military tax exemption application.
I don't have the authority to deny somebody the right to apply for an exemption or tax credit. So I have to accept the applications, but what I do is I make my recommendations to the audit, to the board through the auditor. In this case, they signed up and I'm looking at the form, I'm reading the form, and it just doesn't get the sniff test. So I asked our VA administrator to take a look at the form and discharge form. And you should have that in your packet, his email. That states the fact that his form that he filed does not qualify him as a veteran.
Yeah, and so we did not send this out of the packet because there was some military forms in there. So if any board member wants to see it, it's not part of the board packet that was sent out Friday. Ray does have a copy of it. I don't want to break any,
For this year?
yeah, that public information.
Yeah, it's recorded.
Okay,
That's
so
public
if that's
record.
public information, then DD 214.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you guys want to see the DD 214,
And here's a corrected copy on the name.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, those are recorded documents.
okay. Fair enough.
Those are not public records.
No, they're not.
Oh,
They're not?
no.
Okay,
DD 214s are recorded with Sheila's office are not public records.
okay.
Unless there's a whole bunch of exceptions. That to me a certain age, that could be, I think, 21 or 22 years, 60 some years, filed for more than 60 some years, or they requested it personally, or the right people requested it. I have to look at the exceptions, but as a general rule, those are not public records.
Okay, I stand corrected.
And that's what we kind of went by. We were thinking that they weren't. We didn't
That's why
know
we
for
put it-
sure, so
Yeah.
we decided to err on,
Side of
I could make copies if I could.
If the board member needs to see one.
Yeah,
But no, it didn't meet, I was looking at it, didn't check the sniff test, and I had our VA director.
So we're gonna send a letter to this
Should have
individual.
that, copy that.
We're gonna send a letter to this individual. I suppose he has the right to
What's that?
protest. We're gonna send a letter to this individual.
Yes,
I've
already notified him that I was making a recommendation, creation of denial.
And then he probably has a right
And he
to,
has the right to appeal to district court.
so we're not gonna mention anybody's name here on this one. I think this is the same as DHS stuff we do for citizens that apply for that. And so is there a motion to deny said individual military tax exemption application? So
Second.
motion by Scott, second by Travis to deny one military tax exemption application. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Ray.
All right, very good. Thank you.
905 public comment. We do have a request here from Terry to request to speak on admin and election specialists. Got any questions now, Terry?
Can I wait till Sheila gives her presentation because she might answer all the questions that I might have? Will you allow me to do that? Is that in all fairness to her?
I don't know, any board member wants to comment on that?
I'm okay with it. Yeah, that's okay. Wait till the.
On that said
Yeah.
agenda
That's
item?
on that
She
agenda.
might answer the questions I got in all fairness. That's what I think is fair to her. I don't want to ask her if I don't have to. At least that's the way I'd want it if I was in the same position.
Yeah, we'll follow the same policy though about minutes and
Okay, that's fine.
engineer Roman Lanson. Good morning, Roman. Department update.
Yeah, last week we were mowing gravels when able, edging shoulders, T76, P57. Blades were out pretty much all of last week, as well as the week prior. We did have to do some spot rock, various locations, Alt Vista and Deerfield area. We did have some minor flooding, very minor. BR 0641 on Ivanhoe, that was closed on 8/12, demo was underway. The shop, we will need to get a reman motor for the number 53 spare motor grader, because that one is shelled. That's looking at around $36,000. That's our spare motor grader. Expecting delivery of the 1-ton truck today, finally. We are revisiting quotes for spray foam and reseal of the Fredericksburg County shop, looking if the board wants to approve that.
I
You guys want
think,
to?
I think we'll see what
I mean,
it
it
is.
needs it.
Just our 2 stalls.
Yep. They claim that the other part of the building doesn't need it because it was built at a different time or rebuilt. So we'll move forward with that. Bridge 2000, we did for, that's on Vanderbilt. We poured the north pier footing on 8/12. Probably see some more pours this week. Bridge 1300 on 190 at East Odessa, plan to close to traffic today. B22 paving project, all manholes, rumble strips are completed, shouldering is underway. Probably get that finished up this week. Bridge 2770 and 19680, both of those had check plans and estimates submitted to the DOT. They were cleared, so now we're starting the right-of-way acquisition process. And we're kind of working towards check plans and estimates for the B56 paving project and Bridge 1810 overlay project, that'd be the Chickasaw Bridge. We are waiting on NEPA. They were behind, so waiting on their clearance before we can submit. Engineer's office building, cameras were installed by Barcom, exterior concrete's done, interior floor is done. They're kind of working on miscellaneous stuff. B33 and B46 HMA patches, I did approve the quote from Heartland Asphalt in the amount of $28,033.16. We're gonna let traffic beat down the gravel that's in the patch areas right now, try to get as much compaction as we can. They'll probably pave September to early October. B18 HMA patch south of Alta Vista, which we approved that month ago. Heartland plans to mill today and then probably pave it this week. Weather pending and contractor availability, but I'm hoping this week we see that. I did send out a winter sand request for quote to various suppliers. That's 1,200 tons. That's due on September 1st. The week prior was more of the same. We did get the B46 and B33 culverts opened. We did close them on Monday just to clean up the dirt on the forest slopes. But we opened it up, especially for Little Turkey. I didn't realize how big their town picnic was. They had that this weekend. That's all I got.
What's the next step of your office furniture and shelving?
Yeah, well, we have a meeting a week from Tuesday. I guess I wasn't told if that's a punch list meeting yet. Our guys are doing the gravel around the concrete, which is part of the deal. They were putting vinyl base up. Cabinets, I think, might be done now, just in the little kitchenette area. So soon, I would say we'll probably start moving something out. Maybe the stuff that we don't essentially need, like right next to us. So we're waiting on dark fiber, I believe, is the big one.
Yeah, I heard that's gonna be like the last week in August, so next week, hopefully.
Well, I've been talking with Denny, Butler Bremer. And then they've been working with City of New Hampshire Utilities. I think today we'll get a lot more figured out, because Rick was under one assumption, Denny with the dark fiber was another. Rick thought we were gonna have networks out there, or servers.
Gotcha.
So hopefully today we get that buttoned up. I wanna know when that date might be as well. So.
Exactly. Sounds good. Any questions for Roman? Thank you.
Thanks all.
Public health, Lisa, I told her she's not needed to be here. If she wanted to, she could have been. Board of Health met Friday. had some actionable items for us to acknowledge, I guess, for payroll reasons. So the first one they voted on Friday was acknowledge pay adjustment to Julie Shackleton from $29.61 to $30.80 effective September 9th. I think this was 6-month probational period. Is there a motion to adjust? Acknowledge.
So,
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Isaac to acknowledge pay adjustment for the Department of Public Health for Julie Shackleton from $29.61 to $30.80 effective September 9th, 2026. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried. The second one is acknowledge change of employment status of Megan Lester, currently as for the Public Health Department. She is a nurse and she is doing the quality assurance, quality improvement to Assistant Administrator / Home Care Manager effective January 1st, 2027 with a fiscal year salary of $71,000. It'll be prorated, if she starts January 1st, it's 6 months, which is
$35,500.
$35,500. Motion by Travis, is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Isaac to acknowledge the change of employment status for Megan Lester. Currently the QA/QI nurse to the Assistant Administrator, Home Care Manager effective January 1st, 27. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. We do have, I'll just go into this. We might bring it back up at the end though. Conservation visit with Chad all last week and this morning. There's 2 change orders that he's working on. The first change order was in your packet. The second one is not here yet. So if it shows up in the next, when we are in session, we might act on it. Discuss change orders for extra work at the new conservation building. So since the concrete is not going in, we didn't want the walk-in door and the 3 overhead doors to be 6 inches out of earth, right? So in the bid process, nobody calculated the extra dirt and rock that's going to be required to get that level up to the concrete. So the door is shut properly. So there's going to be some more work done so we don't have animals in there all winter and everything else. So the building's not floating above finished grade. We'll put it that way. So Zimmerman was asked to come and give an estimate of 3/4 inch rock at that price, dirt work for that. And then I guess we missed the downspout. So the gutters are on both sides and the gutters are down. But he's also going to install 5-inch, 120 feet in all 4 corners for the drainage tile. So a price of $6,594.50 is an estimate. I just visited with Chad, maybe we should not exceed $7,000 for this change order number 1 for Zimmerman Excavating Inc. He's hoping to finish up this week with original bid rock inside the building and the approach. And this change order will be done at the same time. I confirmed that it was not in the original bid. This is extra work that is required to get the driveway so we can go up and back down into the building. Do you have any questions on why this was required or needed?
So we're just doing it all right.
So to the 2 walk-in doors and the 3 overhead doors, that much more rock is needed to, you don't want a sharp jump.
Yeah.
You want a gradual jump.
Well, yeah.
The rock will be removed once the concrete goes in next fiscal year. Otherwise it'll be a 6-inch gap.
Yeah, I get that. I didn't
know, I mean, I was thinking all the extra work of taking them all back out, but if we're just doing the doorways. then
Just doing the doorways. Be a little bit of a jump for 9 months to a year. So that's change order number one. Change order number two is the piece of tin on the northwest side inside to insulate that pocket so the electrician can finish his work on the panel and his conduit up to the ceiling. Any questions on change order number one for the cold storage coming out of county betterment fund?
Your motion to approve change order one, not to exceed $7,000.
Is there a second?
Sorry.
Motion by Steve, second by Scott to approve change order number one for the work at the new county conservation building to Zimmerman Excavating Inc., not to exceed $7,000 for change order number one. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Motion carried. Like I said, if we get change order number two, it's not holding up anything else right now. It's just be nice to get that tin on before they finish that corner. Next thing on the agenda is resolution number 817-26-48. Setting date of consultation and a public hearing on a proposed amendment number 3 to the CWEC Urban Renewal Plan in Chickasaw County, state of Iowa. Been working on this for a couple months. Have all the legal documents here. In this resolution, actions directed by this resolution. It will set the public hearing for September 14th. It'll set the scheduled consultation meeting with the tax bodies on August 25th at noon in the boardroom. I will be running that. And we have certain timelines to get all these mailings out to the cities and school districts that are involved with this urban renewal plan. This is the one that Secondary Road has added a lot of projects, which total what is it, 90. It's all those projects that we got approved.
Oh, you have the amendment.
Yeah, it's like $90 million.
94,750,000.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Any questions on resolution? So it fixes up some of the projects that we currently are doing with better not to exceed numbers. Ella Vista PCCs in there, Northland, Southland. Yeah, 94 million. Our goal of this is to try to get all the projects that are in the future, always subject to change. But this is our number 3 amendment to the renewal plan. Any questions on resolution 48?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Travis, is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Steve to approve resolution 817-26-48, setting dates of consultation and a public hearing on a proposed amendment number 3 to the CWEC Urban Renewal Plan in Chickasaw County, state of Iowa. Any questions, concerns? If not, do a roll call. Travis? Aye. Steve?
Aye.
Isaac?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Jake? Aye. Resolution's been adopted.
You guys can scan it, just put it in. Got five.
Yep. All right, moving on down, review and approve the job description for auditor, administrative and election specialist for the auditor's office.
Okay, so with taking the auditor's deputy to a clerk and not hiring anybody else, we have to merge some job descriptions. So I've been working on this for probably about a month. I have been working with Ehlers and Cooney. They went through it. They gave their blessing. And then they said that with it being a position by the Board of Supervisors, that you guys should okay it. So that's what I did. And I basically took the elections, the real estate, and the claims and just brought them together.
So she's merging two job descriptions that were on file, and made a new title called Auditor's Administrative Election Specialist. Still full-time, non-exempt. There's no wages in this job description. Just to have one that you can enforce pretty much.
Yeah. And though you try to list all the duties and responsibilities, the whole office actually helps with everything, but you want them to be, acknowledge that there is stuff there to do and everything. So any questions?
And I know there was some pushback from this job description, but it's just like our other clerks in other departments that have a different title, like the business manager in public health, the Dave's is not labeled as a clerk, she's labeled as a secretary. In public health, they have a medical confidential secretary / scheduler. Like I said, the business manager is there. Secondary road has an admin title,
So the title of this person's, what we went through and auditors, administrative and election specialists. I asked other counties, for the titles that they have with their office, and election specialist came quite frequent. So that's why I put that in there. So
any questions, concerns? This is just cleaning up and taking two job descriptions that were on file and merge them into one job description. Board members have any questions, concerns with this updated job description?
This job, you said full-time, but is it gonna be 35 hours or 40 hours?
And that's what we're working on now. I'm thinking that it's probably gonna be a 40-hour job and that, but right now we've been, the person that's in that position was working 40 hours, and then when we kind of went into a tailspin with the last job description or, with the hiring, then, I just took everybody to 35 right now to see where we were at, and hopefully now we'll go back to 40. Because I think when I left, I was under the assumption that you guys got to tell me how hours they got to work, and then that's why I stopped.
Just has to be-
Were you here at that meeting?
It just has to be in your budget.
Right.
That's why I'm asking the questions.
It's a clerk,
It's a clerk.
so they have to control the wages.
I know you've asked some questions about, we're busy, but some of that stuff has been passed around to the other departments.
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask Dave a question in this deal. When we're doing the real estate, it says in the Iowa code that you shall maintain that. But you got an MOU with Ray,
Correct.
which supersedes what? Does the shall supersede the MOU or not? And I'm just asking a question because it's in the job description that she's doing that, but I know that it's going over to Ray.
Oh, well, it's not. We put it in place because prior auditors had
Okay.
like a handshake agreement, and that bothers me. I wanted it written down. So what are you gonna
And that's
do
why
for
I
me
asked you
if
the question.
I get in a jam? What can you help me with? And yes, to your questions, like secondary roads has picked up some stuff, and I'm very grateful for that. And Ray and I put in place the memorandum of understanding. So like around the levies, when
Right,
we
right.
get real busy, his office will help us and we'll get it, but as a norm for the year, we take care of it.
But
He helps us out during the,
he gets money for doing that, right?
no,
He doesn't get extra salary for doing that work for that office.
no, not
Okay.
at all.
Well, see,
Never thought about that. Do you think I should pay him?
well, he's doing the work of that office, so does he get paid or does he not? So it's a question.
Well, one thing I've learned in the
I'm not
courthouse
trying to
is
be a
we,
bad guy, I'm just asking what the public is asking.
I like that we all, when there's work that needs to be done, that people come to help.
Mhm.
And, Ray said that he was, helping prior auditors anyways, and then it just made sense to have it in writing, and David helped us put it into writing, but we never, it's basically, when his office needs something, then I try to help, it's kind of
Working
sharing.
together.
Well, there's people out there that think that you're paying him to do auditor's office work. So I merely asked the question. No.
Mm. No,
Sure.
I don't have
I'm just shooting arrows at you here.
I guess that's news to me
Sometimes
because
you
I
gotta
didn't
get the
realize that.
answer to stop what the conversations are out there. Yeah, you stop people, say, well, I should probably pay him to do that. Well, the code says shall, so how's she doing that? I'm just getting that question asked.
Yeah,
Is
and
that-
I'm
that isn't
ultimately
right.
responsible, just like what the deputies when they're doing work in my office, if something screws up, it's my name.
Yeah, I can answer that question from my Terry. So my understanding was that because of the way the technology is set up in the county, namely Beacon and some other issues, it's more efficient for the assessor's office to do so that it can maintain it. So that's why we have it. But yes, you're correct. By law and by statute, Sheila's department, Sheila herself is responsible for that duty. So if in fact a new auditor came in, or a new assessor came in, or the assessor's office decided tomorrow they no longer wanted to do that, or if the technology changed where it's now more efficient for her office to do it, then yes, ultimately it does fall on her. So it is part of her statutory responsibilities. I liken it to the fact when I first came here, I was not doing juvenile magistrate court. We hired the Anderson law firm out of the Corps to do that type of work. One of their assistant county attorneys did that work for me. Ultimately, it's my responsibility. But just like Sheila has an MOU with the assessor's office to do it, I had a contract 20 agreement with them to do that type of work for magistrate court. So it's the same type of concept. But ultimately, yes, if and when the agreement ends, whether by choice or by convenience, it does ultimately fall on her office and her responsibility, yes. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that answered real well.
Okay.
And another question is during the elections, being she's running for recorder, how close can she get to any of the paperwork if does she have a conflict of interest?
Now, we reached out to the
I
Secretary,
don't know.
the Secretary of State when she put in her papers, and they came back and said, a job's a job. This is your job. You're supposed to be doing it. But we do realize public perception and stuff like that, where we're trying to get it so we have like a satellite absentee voting.
Wouldn't be called a satellite.
No, but it's similar to a
Like a satellite.
Like a
So use the
satellite.
right terminology here.
Like a satellite.
Voting is way different.
It's gonna be like a satellite where we have people, the PEOs coming in and they will take care of that ballots
And we're
themselves.
working on a process. Sheila has kept me in the loop of using this room as the voting place.
Mhm.
The PO, the poll workers would be out in the hallway, direct them in here to vote. And then, Sheila's staff will stay back in their desk. They can go back out this door, drop a ballot. I think we're trying to stop any of those hearsay.
And I know that in the past, because the prior auditor, I ran for office and I still had to do the elections, and
I think
that's
I ran an
what,
election.
that's what,
With somebody and
They just get something in a wad and I'm asking a question. So if he wants to put it in the paper, that'd be good.
we are
Because
trying
that's
to,
what the public perception is, and that's the reason I asked the questions. Other than that, I ain't more
We're still 2 months away, but
Right.
the plan is to have someone besides Sheila and her staff handle early voting and absentee ballot.
Yep.
That's the right.
that's what we're gonna do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't know that was gonna be a question outside of.
See, that was painless, wasn't it?
Yeah.
any board member have any questions, concerns with this?
My only concern is that can it not just say auditors, administrative clerk, and it still list all of these duties instead of and specialist? Because I think the perception is gonna be that, well, now she's doing 2 jobs. So it's technically not combining, it's still showing 2 jobs on here.
So you're just saying the title?
Yes.
Just
And
the
leave the
title.
duties underneath that title. The same as you have them written up, those are fine.
Mhm. Well, but I guess I'll bring it back again next week. I have to think about that.
So what did Isaac recommend?
He wants an auditor's administrative specialist or
Specialist clerk, I don't.
Also just take out,
the elections, but I think the elections is kind of important, so. I need to, because even, maybe I should take out the administrative and just put an auditor's election specialist and just still leave the list.
Well, you got your job description to back it up, so, I'm like him. Call it something simple.
There's a reason, when you give someone a title like the office manager, then people know that if they're talking to the office manager.
Wording.
anybody else have a concern with anything in the job description? Is there a motion to move forward or bring it back again?
It's all there. Oh.
Is there a second? Motion by Travis, is there a second? I'll second for discussion. Any more discussion on the job description change of taking stuff from the deputy job description that was election specialist and moving it into a combination? It's just a title. Just like I listed the other 2-3 departments that have just titles. We all know they're clerks. If they would join a union, like there was one 10, 12 years ago, they're all classified under that union as a clerk. They might all work for a different department. Any other discussion? If not, do a roll call. Travis.
Aye.
Steve.
Aye.
Isaac. Scott.
Aye.
Jake, aye. Motion carried 4-1. Discuss costs and accessibility for PDF fillable and a PDF fillable and remembrance for accessibility for forms on our website, Neapolitan Labs.
I'm sorry about all that wording. I was asked last week by a constituent if there was any way I could take, I think I have my email, but I don't. If there was any way that we could have like a pre-fillable,
For boards and commissions.
yeah, for the boards and commissions applications, so that they could just type it up and, well, so I asked Neapolitan, the people that I work with the website, well, they come back and they say, well, do you want just PDF fillable? Do you want PDF fillable and remediate, which means it corrects the mistakes as it goes. And then they also asked about if they fill out the application, they can send it right to us. And so I'm just kind of giving you guys a heads up because I really want to wait till they give me all the costs back. Because it might be something, and by next year, we have to have a lot done with the website with accessibility, and that all comes in. So I just wanted to kind of just discuss it with you guys and get your thoughts. If you guys were with
Who would watch if an application comes through on the website?
well, they all come to me.
They'll go to you.
Yeah, I get them all. But so when someone has an application for a job or something like that, I usually get them all. They come through me.
So that's already being done. This is just the boards and commission application for our autonomous boards.
Yeah, so basically, I guess it's easier to fill out the PDF online, just to fill it out. So right now, I have the application. You can get the application, but you gotta print it and you gotta write it out and then, submit it back, either scan it to me or, bring it in or mail it. Well, this, if you guys just do fillable, they will print it,
Scan it back in.
scan it back and give it to me or mail it to me. If you guys do PDF fillable and remediate, that means that if they make a mistake on it while they're filling it out, that the software will help them fix it, but they still gotta print it and scan it in and send it to me, or, mail it to me. But then they have some other where it would go right to the auditor when they got done filling it out. So they haven't gave me a cost on that. I think the PDF was like, just the fillable was like $30 and it's a one-time deal. And then to have it fix your mistakes, it was like $110. But like I said, I'd like to see what that other cost is before you guys decide, because if it isn't much money, we might as well do it and be easier for people to just send it, fill it out online and send it to us. And it probably would help with the ADA law next year when we have to be in compliance.
So I think we need to wait until we have the cost for either one or.
And then I kind of really thought I was gonna have the cost for the third one too this time, but since I didn't.
Any questions? Any reason we want to do this? I guess. I think we need to see what the costs are, if it's a one-time cost or an annual cost. What do we get? Maybe 5 to 10 a year? You know,
That's all we need.
any questions, concerns with the website on this issue?
Or just,
No, I just.
it's just discussion.
I mean, I like the idea of just being able to be returned rather, I mean, I think it just makes things a lot easier for anybody filling it out.
We'll bring it back when we have prices for the website. Nothing else, we move on to review and approve engagement letter from the Emergent Architectural for the partial renovation of the north end of the Heritage Center. So Scott and myself met with Mark. Mark works for this company out of, I think, Waterloo, Cedar Falls, to start getting the heritage. So we have a co-location for a lot of our services. And the goal is to downsize county buildings. This would be specifically on the north wing to do the demo, design back for the attorney's office, and move forward on using a building that is being cooled and heated and get rid of some of our buildings that it's going to take some cost to redo the parking lot and other things. This is the same architect that did the pre-plan about 4 or 5 years ago. When we were discussing moving public health and EMA and all those other agencies under one roof. Any discussion?
I just want to state for the record that I didn't realize this was moving this quickly, but it's becoming a reality now, potentially becoming a reality. But just for the record, I do not, just so public perception again, Terry, your comment, I am not seeking a new office. I do not need a new office. Michelle and I are more than content with where we were at, but we don't get to decide those things. So I work for the taxpayers, work for the county, and wherever you guys put me is where you put me. I have said multiple times I do not want to be in the courthouse for a variety of reasons, which I've shared with all of you, and she knows well aware of. So are a lot of the department heads. But this is not something I'm pushing. So I just want to make sure I'm clear on that. It's not something I'm pushing out there in the public that says, hey, I need an office. Michelle, I don't want to be there anymore. We want to move. This will be the 3rd or 4th office move, my understanding, for that department in the last 10 years. So this is not something we're asking for, but we're on board with team players. If in fact that's what the board wants to do, we just want it done correctly. We did meet with Jake out there last Wednesday or Thursday and walk through. I think it will adequately meet our space needs if done properly. So that's my only comment, is that it's done properly. We're on board, but this is not something that we're seeking as a new office. I want to just dispel that comment right now.
So I discussed with you before about Iowa code. And it's your opinion that you don't have to be inside the.
Yeah, it says the board shall furnish office space for all those persons in the county seat. So I think ultimately, if something happened to me tomorrow, or a year from now, and it was out there, and someone said, hey, I actually want my office space in the county seat, several hundred yards north of there, I think you would have to do that, to furnish some office space. I don't think the code says the office must be located in the county seat. And the legislature knows how to say that if they wanted to say that. Again, that law was probably put into existence over 100 years ago, and it hasn't been updated or changed. And to my knowledge, talking with some folks in Des Moines, no one has ever challenged it or had any issues with it statewide, to my knowledge. I think it's pretty common now, given the size and age of a lot of our courthouses, that a lot of the county offices are no longer in the courthouse. They're in annex buildings or other buildings throughout town or elsewhere. But my opinion is that you shall furnish office space means if I want an office space, you have to furnish it for me, but it doesn't say the office must be located within the city limits of the county seat. So just a word of caution. I have no intention of leaving anytime soon, but if in fact something happened to me or I did leave and someone said, hey, I actually want my office in the county seat, I don't know why that might be a driver, but it is theoretically out there. Someone could demand that, you have to actually furnish that office space. Now, what that entails, I don't know. Does that entail a desk upstairs in one of the rooms? That's open to interpretation as well.
Is the past one that was north of town, wasn't it? Decided that it needed to be in the city limits.
I think it was being pushed by a couple people. They were out north of town for what, ever since they had that fire north of the courthouse, or sorry, south of the courthouse.
That was before my time, but my understanding was it was a controversial decision and issue when that building that we're in, but that was before my time. Yeah. No, yeah.
I just hate to be, we have an office that certainly meets your needs. And if we spend a bunch of money to heritage ready and then have to go back and spend money again to buy another office, I caution.
What's your feeling about having 5 buildings in town though that are not full? Or even the heritage?
I guess my opinion is that if we want to sell a building, then we should look at selling heritage again. I think it's a building that's underutilized and it's cost us a lot of money.
That's why I think we need to utilize it. Because it's gonna cost the same if 2 county offices are in there, like the VA and General Relief. You know, we met with, oh goodness, Dave, a lot of people last Thursday that I think the state is pushing those co-locations for those services, like the Pathways, Inspiring Lives, DAP, CICS. They want a one-stop shop for those individuals that need that service. It just seems like we're all over the city of New Hampton in 5 buildings. Yeah, and I don't know how much longer we're not going to stick money into the current LEMC for a parking lot, for maybe a roof down the future. We hear those in budget work sessions all the time about the parking lot and the asphalt and.
Probably if we do much of heritage, we're gonna have to do a bunch of driveway work down there. So I think you get so many people, you have to have paved surface to drive through parking lots.
You know, obviously our building shares with VMA too, and I don't know what is gonna spin out of that tomorrow night or in the future. But that's an issue. We talked about storage. I know Sheila has some stuff down there and lots of departments have a lot of stuff down there, but I know there's plenty of room out there. She's made that comment. Also, my question is this person a certified or licensed architect under 544A?
Yes.
So we anticipate this person's gonna put together drawings as phase 1 and then an estimated total cost of public improvement.
Yeah, so he has a phase 1, phase 2, construction documents, bidding, construction and administration. Assist the kind of bidding and contractor selection, project closeout, provide punch lists as per review all project closeout documents. It's all internal walls. None of the outside will be touched. The windows are in perfect shape. Just taking out all those bedroom walls and bathrooms that are in the north and wing. Is there a motion to approve the engagement letter?
I'll make one.
Is there a second? Sorry. Motion by Travis, second by Scott, to approve the engagement letter with Emergent Architectural out of Cedar Falls, Iowa, for the partial renovation of the north end of the Heritage Center. Any discussion? If not, we'll do a roll call. Travis.
Aye.
Isaac.
Aye.
Steve.
Yeah,
Scott. Jake, aye. Motion carried 4-1. So let them know. Community assignments. Steve, got any?
No.
Isaac?
No.
Travis?
No.
Scott?
No.
Just EMA meets tomorrow night at 6 at the community service building. Discuss future agenda items. Been in contact with the general contractor of Staggy. Windows are in production for the courthouse. The first shipment will be here on Tuesday, September 8th. This week or next week, I'm meeting with Staggy and Dave Gorman to look at the specific schedule. Remind you, we have to be cautious of the third floor and the clerk of court's office and scheduling conflicts, if there is any. They're gonna put a storage box out there on the street on the northwest side of the courthouse. The city did approve that. We just gotta stay back with one stall so we don't block the stop sign. But yes, this courthouse will be under construction for probably 2 to 3 months to install the windows. So just giving a head to the board and the public. I know there's an election on September 8th for a school levy for Charles City School District. Tim, the general contractor, doesn't know if we'll have crew here to install windows that day, just because sometimes when they deliver them, that might take up the whole day to put them in that storage unit. But he could have people here Wednesday the 9th for sure. All weather pending. I know we're gonna work on an email for department heads and people in the courthouse of noise issues and trying to avoid the judges when they're here too. Try to work under construction as best we can. If you guys have anything for me to share with Staggy, I think the engineer's office, maybe it'd be good for them all to be moved before they do those 5 windows in there.
that makes sense.
Cause then that room will be completely empty and they can do stuff inside and out. We do have to get Barcom here to take out some of our cameras. So we have other cameras to protect us because they go through the window seal. So I will have to coordinate that with Dave Gorman and Barcom to remove a camera at a time. So the other ones are still active. So that'll cost a little bit more than what we expect for them to take out some cables and then reinstall them once the new window's in. That is all I have on updates, future agendas. Anything else? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Isaac to adjourn at, you say 10 o'clock? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried.
So